Bloomberg put out this article. Trump risks losing voters he needs with loaded attacks against Harris. Republicans audition fresh attacks on new Democratic rival. GOP leaders warned against using sexist, racist messaging. I said a few days ago, soon as this news hit, that the sexism and racism was going to be off the charts. I talked about the fact that they were going to be tossing around DEI and how unqualified she is, and they are doing it, and people are picking up on it. And I love to see it because it is hitting some Republicans in the chest. Is hitting some body blows. Okay, let's get into the article. Donald Trump's campaign is frantically revamping its strategy, scrapping moot plans to characterize ex-opponent Joe Biden as feeble, and testing new attack lines on Kamala Harris, who is 2 decades younger than the Republican nominee. With roughly 100 days until Election Day and less than 2 months before voting begins in some states, Trump, 78, has little time to define a Democratic opponent who emerged just days ago. He auditioned new messages with mixed results this week on a call with reporters, talking about the U.S.-Mexico border and TV appearances and his social media platform. Trump has berated Harris, 59, for being the worst border person in history, dumb as a rock, and a weak prosecutor who destroyed the city of San Francisco. He's mocked her and laughed and floated 2 nicknames, Laughing Kamala and Lying Kamala. His allies have called Harris a DEI hire, short for diversity, equity, and inclusion, and implies she became VP because she's a woman of color. Harris, for her part, has leaned into her prior role as a prosecutor, saying she knows Trump's type, referring to his felony convictions, and other legal trouble.
In those roles, I took on perpetrators of all kinds. Predators who abused women, fraudsters who ripped off consumers, cheaters who broke the rules for their own gain. So hear me when I say, I know Donald Trump's type.
Trump's litany of complaints about Harris run the risk of alienating voters he needs to attract: suburban women, young adults, Black and Hispanic people. Attacks that veer into racism and sexism could undermine the unity message the politicians sought to project at their nominating convention.
If Kamala Harris gets in, she would be the most radical far-left extremist ever to occupy the White House times 10. There's never been a lunatic like this in the White House, and we've had some bad ones. So now we have a new victim to defeat, Lion Kamala Harris, Lion, L-Y-I-N apostrophe. And she's got a new line, you know, she's going, I'm the prosecutor. She's one of the worst prosecutors in history. She destroyed San Francisco. I'm the prosecutor, and he's the convicted felon or something. A radical left judge in an area where every one of these cases, every one of them is brought by them. So think of it. They get me to that position, and then their campaign says, I'm the prosecutor, and he is the convicted felon. That's their campaign. I don't think people are going to buy it.
This is going to be amazing. This is going to be such an entertaining, not so entertaining, political season. But yes, it's going to be full of sexism and racism. And it already is. It's showing us. The risk of the Republican messaging is that it could backfire and be perceived as unfair and sexist, said Alan Abramowitz, a political scientist, professor emeritus at Emory University. The vitriol directed toward Harris shows the extent to which her emergence as the likely Democratic nominee has upset the 2024 presidential race. For months, the Trump campaign prepped to run against Biden by questioning his age and record on immigration and the economy. Now, in late June, the switch-up has caught the Trump campaign off guard, forcing it to rewrite their messaging. Top House Republicans, including Speaker Mike Johnson, have warned fellow party members to steer away from attacks on race or gender, an acknowledgement of the political risks they carry. This election will be about policies, not personalities, Johnson said on Tuesday. Trump has a history of attacking politicians of color over their backgrounds. He falsely claimed President Barack Obama was a Muslim who was not born in the U.S. Trump has similarly questioned whether Republican primary rival Nikki Haley, whom he called bird brain, was eligible to serve as president because she's the daughter of immigrants. While Trump's scattershot attacks underscored the changed nature of the race, Trump campaign senior advisor Brian Hughes said the contest's fundamentals remain the same. Joe Biden acted like a California liberal. Kamala Harris is a California liberal. In addition to settling on an anti-Harris message, the Trump campaign must contend with whoever she picks as a running mate. The electoral map is also poised to change with Harris at the top of the ticket. A new NPR PBS News Marist poll shows Harris and Trump statistically tied, but found signs Harris could pick up new support. 1 in 5 independent voters said they were undecided, compared to 4% before Biden dropped out. Black voters say they were more likely to vote with the president no longer running. This could change the calculus for both campaigns as they try to win over crucial swing state voters. The Trump campaign had planned to build a winning coalition by appealing to its Republican base and expanding support among Black men and Hispanic communities, all while hoping Democrats suffered from low turnout given the lack of enthusiasm about Biden. Those objectives may now be harder to accomplish. In a new campaign memo, Harris campaign chair Jennifer O'Malley Dillon wrote that 7% of all voters remain undecided and could be persuaded to support Harris. These voters are disproportionately Black, Latino, and under 30. They are more likely to have supported the Biden-Harris ticket in 2020 and are 2 times more likely to be Democrats than Republicans. We have a clear issue and character advantage. If y'all are wondering what's going on in the background, I happen to be outside at the pool. I'm at the Luxor Hotel, and they are out here early cleaning the pool area and everything. That's the reason for all of this this noise in the background. But it doesn't take away from what we are talking about, how all of this vitriol is going to push away young voters, is going to push away women, is going to push away the colored folks. And what is saying to me is all of this vitriol, they don't have a policy plan. They don't have a leg to stand on. And so that's the reason why they keep coming with these attacks. He has to try on new insults because he has nothing else to say of substance. I would like for you guys to join the conversation. Let me know what you think about this. I'm smiling, but I'm smiling because they have nothing to talk about of substance. If it was about policy, they would be talking about policy because they knew who Kamala Harris was because she was the vetted VP pick. So they already knew who she was. So the ramping up of the insults is just, it's just their strategy. It's just par for the course for these people because they do not really welcome other folks, colored folks, women folk. So the sexism, racism, and DEI they're about to go hard at those people. Join the conversation. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.